Unlocking the hidden secrets of celibacy. A sacred journey into unseen mysteries. I never expected a single dream to change everything. One night, I found myself standing at the edge of a vast, shimmering lake. The moon hung low in the sky, pouring silver light onto the dark water. It felt alive, this place, a heartbeat echoing in the stillness. I looked down and gasped. My reflection stared back, distorted and ethereal, my face twisted in confusion and longing. For years, I had been questioning so much. Am I missing something? Is there another path? Celibacy felt like a shackle and yet an invitation. I craved clarity, purpose. I wanted to grasp the deeper meaning behind this choice. Why did so many sages advocate for such sacrifice? It was as if a voice whispered secrets in the rustling leaves around me, urging me to listen. There were signs everywhere, the movements of shadows, the flickering candles in my dim room, and the quiet pull of intuition I could never explain. I sat there, legs crossed, breath steady, trying to meditate, but instead feeling a storm brewing inside. My chest tightened. Questions swirled like autumn leaves caught in a whirlwind. What was I seeking? Freedom? Connection? Or was it something darker? A longing buried deep within? Tension coiled in my gut with each passing moment. I sensed I wasn't alone. A presence lurked, just out of sight. Felt electric sparking in my bones. A shiver traced my spine. The lake rippled as if disturbed. The moon flickering, was it trying to tell me something? My heart raced. I felt it. A shift, a promise of revelations hiding just beneath the surface. But what awaited me there? Suddenly, a sharp crack echoed in the stillness. I jumped to my feet, breath caught in my throat. Was that a voice? Or merely the wind playing tricks? I strained to listen, every nerve tingling. Time froze. Why was I so afraid? What was the universe trying to reveal? Then, in a flash, I saw something, a vision. A shimmering figure reclining by the water's edge, beckoning me closer. Who was this soul? A guide? An omen? My heart thudded painfully against my ribs. I needed to know, to dive deeper into this mystery. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The moon dimmed, and an otherworldly hush enveloped me. I stepped closer to the shimmering figure, its outline blurring like a dream I couldn't quite grasp. Each step felt like sinking deeper into a mirage, where reality and illusion intertwined. The air tingled around me as if charged with quiet secrets. Approach. The figure's voice was a gentle murmur, rippling like the lake. What do you seek? My throat tightened, but the yearning inside me compelled me to speak. I seek understanding, clarity on this journey of celibacy. Why must I endure this path when my heart aches for connection? The figure smiled knowingly, its features becoming clearer, wise eyes shimmering like stars, and a face that bore the weight of countless lifetimes. Celibacy is not a burden but a bridge, a sacred channel to the divine. What sacrifices do you fear? What truths do you resist? At that moment, the air quivered as visions flooded my mind. I saw fragments of my past, moments of passion and pain, intertwined like strands of thread, each one contributing to the fabric of my being. Suddenly, I recognized a pattern that had eluded me. The deeper I had connected with others, the more I had lost myself. What if I am meant to be whole first? I pondered aloud, my heart racing. But how can I understand wholeness alone? The figure gestured toward the reflections in the lake's surface. Before understanding unity with another, one must embrace unity within oneself. Dive deeper, confront the shadows that linger. They hold wisdom. The lake began to swell with images, swirling reflections revealing memories I had buried, moments of loneliness, unfulfilled desires, and undeniable joys. My chest tightened as I recognized familiar faces, once cherished and now mere echoes. Face them, the voice urged, for they are your guides in this journey. They too are part of you. I closed my eyes and allowed the visions to wash over me, reliving moments I had suppressed. A childhood friend, a fleeting romance, whispers of desires that had never blossomed. Each memory pulled at my heartstrings, igniting an ache that felt both heavy and liberating. Why do I feel this longing? I queried, a tremor in my voice. Isn't celibacy meant to alleviate such pain? The figure sighed, sorrow and understanding mingling in its gaze. Longing is a natural part of existence, a reminder of your humanity. It is not the absence of pleasure that brings peace but the presence of understanding. Embrace your emotions. They are your teachers. That I open my eyes, the lake reflecting not just my image but a deeper sense of self and essence that was both shared and solitary. I felt the weight of my emotions, the threads of connection binding me to my experiences. It was clear. This journey wasn't merely about restraint, but about navigating the tapestry of love, desire, and spiritual awakening. Suddenly, a gentle wind brushed against my skin, carrying whispers of ancient knowledge. Find solace in solitude, it seemed to say. In stillness, the universe speaks. But another question stirred within me. What do I truly seek in this solitude? Merely the absence of distraction or the connection with the self I have yet to fully embrace? As I pondered, a flicker caught my eye at the edge of the water, a silver fish, sleek and radiant, dancing beneath the surface. It darted and swirled, teasing the moon's reflection. In it, I saw a symbol of transformation. Perhaps by surrendering to this journey of celibacy, I could be reborn, just as the fish glided gracefully through the depths. Yet, amidst this burgeoning vision, I realized I still craved understanding. What revelations awaited me on the shore of awakening, just beyond the horizon of my fears? Would confronting my past allow me to unlock the greater mysteries of love both for myself and for others? With the questions lingering, the figure by the water faded into the silver glow, leaving me with the profound sense of seeking not an answer, but an ongoing quest for truth. Would I choose to dive deeper, embracing the shadows to find the light waiting just beyond? In the stillness that followed, I felt as if I were suspended in time, the echoes of the figure's presence reverberating through my soul. The landscape surrounding me morphed into a kaleidoscope of colors, each hue reflecting the emotions that had been brought to the surface. The air shimmered with potential, inviting and yet unsettling. Despite the figure's departure, I sensed I wasn't alone. A gentle rustle in the nearby trees drew my attention, and a sense of curiosity propelled me forward. The forest was alive, the leaves whispering secrets that fluttered on the wind. I took a tentative step into the thick foliage, the ground beneath me a mosaic of twigs and fallen leaves, soft yet grounding. As I ventured deeper, a faint melody wove through the air, something enigmatic that beckoned me to follow. Each note resonated with the pulse of my heart, harmonizing with the questions swirling in my mind. What deeper truths about love and connection awaited me here? Would this journey unveil the reasons behind my longing? I rounded a bend and stumbled upon a clearing illuminated by celestial light filtering through the treetops. At its center stood an ancient tree, its trunk gnarled and twisted, yet dignified, a monument to resilience. Its roots sprawled like the veins of an intricate system, reaching deep into the earth, anchoring it firmly while its branches yearned for the sky. As I approached, an unexpected surge of familiarity washed over me. The tree seemed to pulse with energy, not unlike the memories that had danced across the lake's surface. I felt drawn to its majesty, and placing my hand against its rough bark, I closed my eyes. Suddenly, a vision flickered in the darkness behind my eyelids. I saw the tree in its early years, a small sapling bathed in sunlight, surrounded by wildflowers. It danced in the breeze, embraced by the support of its surroundings. Yet, I watched as seasons changed, and storms battered its fragile frame. I felt its pain, its struggle to stand tall amidst the chaos of life. Growth is never without challenge. A voice gently broke the silence of my mind. It was neither the figure from the lake nor any other soul I recognized. yet it carried the wisdom of ages. To embrace one's true self requires facing adversity, enduring seasons of solitude, and still choosing to reach for the light. Tears stung my eyes as I realized this tree mirrored my own journey. The longing I felt wasn't merely a desire for connection. It was an acknowledgement that growth often requires isolation. The struggle to find and embrace my authentic self was essential before I could truly understand love, both for myself and for others. I let my fingers trace the ridges of the tree's bark, feeling its stories intertwined with my own. It whispered to me tales of renewal, of beginnings emerging from endings. What is love, if not a sacred circle, where one learns to be whole before sharing oneself with another? The voice continued. With a newfound understanding, I stepped back, my heart swelling. I could hear the winds of change rustling through the branches, echoing the lessons of the past. Each moment of solitude was a chance to delve deeper into the roots of my being, unearthing the truths that lay buried beneath layers of fear and longing. Yet, amidst this revelation, a flicker of anxiety bubbled within me. Would I be able to navigate this uncharted territory? The depths of my soul were vast, filled with both light and shadow. How could I embrace my wholeness without feeling the weight of isolation? As I pondered, a soft glow caught my eye, and I noticed small fireflies dancing around the clearing, flitting between the tree and the shadows. Their luminescence reminded me that even in the darkest moments, light could be found. Perhaps it was in this delicate balance between solitude and connection that I would discover the narrative of my journey. Clarity washed over me, yet unanswered questions lingered like pieces of a larger puzzle. How could I cultivate resilience as the ancient tree had done? What steps could I take to nurture my own growth while honoring the longing I felt within? With these reflections teeming in my heart, I drew in a deep, grounding breath. The tree whispered its final blessing, the connection with the earth both soothing and invigorating. I took a step back, feeling the cool air wrap around me like a cloak of comfort. What hidden secrets about love and connection lay beyond this moment, just waiting to be unveiled? Would my continued journey through solitude transform me into the being I sought to become, or would I falter amidst the complexities of my emotions? As I stepped away from the ancient tree, the symphony of the forest resonated within me, each note echoing the heartbeat of life itself. In the dance of fireflies, I saw glimpses of my path illuminated. A journey of discovery, yearning, and, above all, an invitation to venture deeper into the mysterious weave of love. The forest welcomed me back into its embrace as I resumed my path, each footfall echoing a quiet determination. The lessons of the tree lingered, entwining themselves with my thoughts, a gentle reminder of resilience amid uncertainty. The light from the fireflies faded, but their dance ignited a spark within me, a flicker of hope amidst the shadows of my introspection. The melody that had drawn me into the clearing now morphed. It shifted, turning from a haunting tune into something playful, invigorating. I felt compelled to follow it, my spirit buoyed by the memory of the ancient tree's wisdom. Perhaps the forest had other secrets to unveil, insights yet to be discovered, each revealing another layer of my own being. Deeper into the woods, I marveled at how the symphony around mebird's chirping, branches creaking, and the rustle of small creatures mirrored the complexities of emotions I sought to understand. With every step, it became clear that my journey was less about seeking an end and more about embracing each moment as a transformative experience. As I walked, the daylight waned, casting long shadows that danced across my path. It felt as if the forest were alive with whispers just beyond my comprehension, remote yet profoundly present. Suddenly, I stumbled upon another clearing, but this one was unlike the serene sanctuary of the ancient tree. This space felt charged, electric with energy, as though I had crossed an invisible threshold into a realm of the unknown. To the heart of this clearing was a stone altar, rough-hewn and ancient, covered in moss and lichen. It spoke of rituals long forgotten, of offerings and gratitude, a testament to a sacred bond with the earth. The air thrummed with potential, beckoning me closer. I sensed that here, I could shed another layer of myself, uncovering truths I had yet to face. Approaching the altar, I hesitated. A disquiet settled over me. What would I have to give? What offerings would honor this place, this moment of my journey? As if sensing my inner turmoil, the air shifted, inviting clarity and stillness. I closed my eyes once more, taking grounded breaths that anchored me to the present. The moment transformed. I envisioned myself laying down my fears of vulnerability, of rejection, of losing the grasp of control that so often held me captive. I saw them as stones, heavy and burdensome, each one an anchor weighing down my spirit. What if you were to release them? The voice of the forest returned, no longer echoing through the silence but rising within me. With that thought, the world around me shimmered, the altar glowing softly in response. I could feel the vibrations of my heart aligning with the pulse of the earth, each beat reminding me that love did not require perfection, only authenticity. I lowered my hands to the rocky surface, palms flat, where the warmth of ancient energy flooded through me. A sudden rush of voices filled my mind, a cacophony that spoke of the stories of those who had come before me, joys and heartbreaks, woven into the fabric of existence. It dawned on me that celibacy, often seen as loneliness, could be transformed into a sacred solitude. A sanctuary of self-discovery, an opportunity to honor my journey towards wholeness before sharing my heart. The question bubbled up from within, unbidden yet urgent. What if celibacy was not an absence of connection but a profound weaving of ties, first to myself and then to others? What walls had I built that obstructed my capacity to love deeply, unreservedly? Just as that realization settled in me, a gentle breeze stirred the leaves around the altar, carrying the scent of earth after rain. I understood as the roots of the ancient tree burrowed into the soil in search of nourishment. So, too, must I dig deeper into the richness of my inner world. My journey was not just about discovering love outside myself. It was about cultivating a garden within. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, the forest's secrets weaving around me in threads of illumination. But as the sun dipped lower, I sensed that other mysteries awaited me beyond this clearing. How could I cultivate this newfound understanding? What rituals might I adopt to honor this journey, to quell the fears that still lingered in the back of my heart? With breathless anticipation, I took a step back from the altar, feeling lighter yet rooted in purpose. Each question reverberated through me, a reminder that my journey was only beginning. As I turned to leave, the flickering light of the fireflies returned, illuminating my path forward, revealing that each step would unravel further mysteries I had yet to uncover. What secrets lay still concealed in the shadows? How might I learn to dance between solitude and connection, crafting a life where love flowed freely, mirroring the rhythm of the world around me? Only time would tell if this journey would lead me closer to the answers I sought, or if the questions themselves would become my greatest guide. The forest held its breath as I ventured onward, curious echoes of my earlier revelations whispering through the branches like playful spirits. Each step on the earth felt purposeful, a dance not just of feet, but of soul and discovery. As twilight deepened, the vibrant hues of the dying sun painted the sky, casting an ethereal glow that beckoned me into the mysteries yet undisclosed. The further I wandered, the more I felt the pull of something unseen. It was subtle yet resolute, like a thread woven through the very fabric of my being, guiding me deeper into the wilderness. Shadows lengthened before me, and I felt an unusual intertwining of excitement and trepidation, a dance between the known and the unknown. Around the next bend, a fork appeared in the path, and I paused, breath hitching slightly as a soft chime, delicate like crystal, echoed through the air. Drawn to the sound, I chose the left trail. It wound through twisted oaks, their gnarled roots creating a natural tapestry upon the ground. As I ventured farther, the chimes grew louder, more insistent, filling my heart with a question I could not yet articulate. Finally, I arrived at a small grove adorned with luminescent flowers that seemed to hum with life. In the center stood a figure, cloaked in a garment woven from leaves and blossoms, their presence radiant and inviting. An ethereal being, they appeared both ancient and ageless, eyes filled with knowledge beyond comprehension. I felt an instinctual pull towards them, a yearning to learn. "Welcome, seeker," they spoke, voice as soothing as the rustling leaves. You have journeyed far, and in these woods, the answers you seek will unfold like petals in the morning sun. But know this, each revelation carries the weight of responsibility, for with understanding comes the choice of how to wield it. My heart raced as they gestured to the flowers that surrounded them. These blossoms are reflections of your spirit, they continued. Each hue symbolizes a facet of your existence, your joys, fears, aspirations. In the essence of celibacy, one finds an opportunity to nourish these blooms from within, to tend to the garden of the soul before sharing its fruits. A sudden clarity washed over me, akin to sunlight breaking through a stormy sky. In the quiet moments of solitude, I could cultivate not just love for self but the seeds of compassion toward others. A deeper understanding began to knot itself within me like a vine weaving through the branches of my heart. Ask what you desire to know, the being urged, a mirthful glimmer dancing in their gaze. Suddenly, I found myself grappling with the weight of my questions, the vulnerable yearning to understand the community I craved amidst solitude. Why is it so hard to embrace silence? I uttered, my voice trembling with the spirit of inquiry. How do I communicate my needs when silence feels both freeing and suffocating? With a knowing nod, the figure raised a hand, palms upward, as if inviting the answers to swirl within like petals caught in the breeze. Silence is not absence, but an invitation to lustento yourself and to the world. You must learn to unravel the stories interwoven with your solitude, like the roots beneath these trees. Seek the lessons in stillness, and share your truths with gentleness. With each profound word, I felt a knot slowly untie within me, a release of fears surrounding connection. The being stood, a vessel of wisdom, embodying grace. They continued, in the realm of celibacy lies the potential for clarity in relationships, for freeing yourself from the chromatic chaos of external expectations. To walk this path is to honor your journey as sacred, a prelude to divine connection with others. I was enraptured, aware that their voice echoed deeper truths yet to be surfaced. As twilight kissed the horizon, the flowers pulsated, their luminescence illuminating not just the grove but parts of my soul long shrouded in shadow. What if I embraced solitude as an ally rather than a void? I contemplated, heart hopeful yet reflective. Could it indeed be a fertile ground for love? The figure smiled, gently placing a luminous flower in my palm. Carry this blossom, for it symbolizes the essence of self-love, they declared. Let it remind you of your commitment to nurture the relationships in your life, beginning with the one who resides within. With that, their presence began to dissolve into the twilight, leaving me standing with a heart both heavy and light, filled with gratitude for the insights born from this sacred encounter. As I stepped away from the grove, the next path revealed itself, revealing the whispers of the wind and the soft rustle of my inner thoughts. The questions continued to swirl within me, mingling with the echoes of what I had learned. What if love, in its truest form, was not defined by presence but by the energy nurtured through presence of mind and spirit? How could I cultivate this love in a way that transcended the romance of society, branching into the universal tapestry of human connection? The glow of the flowers faded, leaving me with a tender resolve, for the journey ahead felt rich with potential. Each question became a guiding star, illuminating the vast night sky of possibilities. What practices can I adopt to deepen this understanding? How will I carry this new wisdom into the world as I navigate the spaces between solitude and connection, blooming into the full spectrum of love? In this surrender to the unknown, I felt the pulse of a new adventure awaiting me. As I moved away from the illuminated grove, the path seemed to stretch before me like an unending scroll, each twist and turn an invitation to deeper exploration. The air shimmered with the lingering essence of the ethereal being's words, infusing the night with both gravity and lightness. I held the luminous flower close, feeling its warmth seep into my skin, a gentle reminder of the commitment I had made to nurture the burgeoning love within me. As the moon rose higher, casting a soft silver glow upon the forest, I wandered into a clearing. Here, the trees opened up to reveal an expansive sky, dotted with stars like ancient stories waiting to be told. Each twinkle felt like a heartbeat echoing through the universe, inviting me to ponder my place within it. I sat on a cool stone, grounding myself in stillness as I attempted to merge my thoughts with the rhythm of the night. Suddenly, a whisper danced upon the breeze, beckoning me to open my senses further. What other mysteries lie within the heart of celibacy? I mused aloud, allowing my curiosity to soar. The sound of rustling leaves sent a shiver down my spine, awakening my desire to listen closely, to truly hear the wisdom waiting to unfold. Within that moment, the world around me began to shift. The stars above seemed to swirl, drawing my gaze deeper into their vastness. I felt a pulsea wave of energy traveling through the air toward me, a quiet promise of connection that transcended the physical. It was as if the cosmos was whispering just for me, reminding me of the intricate web of all existence. Then, with an otherworldly clarity, a sequence of shapes emerged within the starlit sky. They morphed and shimmered, transforming into familiar yet forgotten symbols: a heart, a circle, a spiral. Each one resonated with the themes of connection, unity, and life's eternal cycles. The heart embodied love, both self and shared. The circle represented endless potential, a reminder that what I sought was already inside me. And the spiral signified growth, evolution, and the journey of the soul through time. I felt a stirring within me, a deep sense of knowing that celibacy, while often misunderstood, could be a pathway to understanding these symbols within myself. In choosing solitude, I was also choosing to appreciate the relationships that transcended traditional boundaries, the connections with myself, the earth, the stars, and the very essence of humanity that binds us together. Just as this realization settled within me, the cosmos shimmered once more, and a figure began to form from the stardustan ancestral spirit cloaked in the brilliance of the night sky. They appeared wise and powerful, their features shifting and blending like starlight refracted through a prism. They looked down upon me, eyes twinkling with knowing. Seeker of truths, you seek what it means to embrace the sacred in solitude. Their voice resonated like a gentle breeze, stirring the very fibers of my being. To delve into celibacy is to uncover not only the beauty of self-acceptance but also the multitude of ways to connect with others beyond physicality. What must I understand to cultivate love? I asked, my voice quaking with expectancy, without the tangible presence of another. The spirit nodded, their gaze piercing through my uncertainty. Love, unbound by form, resides in the spaces between beings. You must learn to translate your inner world into acts of kindness, compassion, and understanding. Celibacy invites you not to renounce love but to expand it beyond the limits you have been taught. That I end that moment. The symbols began to glow again, pulsating in rhythm with my heartbeat, each one sparking a profound question within me. How could I share my essence with the world while cherishing the sanctity of my solitude? What practices could cultivate an understanding of love not rooted in need, but in appreciation for the vibrant interconnectedness of existence? As the spirit faded, the stars twinkled even brighter, illuminating a path not only of questions but of potential. It became clear that my journey was woven into the tapestry of all seeking souls, each thread a story of love waiting to be lived. With the luminous flower still in hand, I rose from my stone and inhaled the cool night air, feeling the pulse of the universe coursing within me. I ventured on, aware of the answers hidden within the questions that lingered in my mind. As I walked, I surrendered once more to the unknowable, each step uncovering further layers of my heart. What if the true beauty of love existed in the spaces of connection crafted through intention, and in the shared silence between souls? How could I translate the revelations of my solitude into acts that fostered understanding in a world often bent on division? The journey ahead shimmered with infinite possibilities, and as I moved deeper into the forest, I felt the whispers of the stars echoing within me, weaving their sacred truths into the fabric of my quest. With renewed determination, I walked along the winding path, my senses heightened as the forest enveloped me in its mysteries. The echoes of the ancestral spirit's voice lingered in my heart, guiding me deeper into this exploration of self and connection. Each breath felt imbued with purpose, a reminder that I was not merely a solitary figure but part of a greater whole. As I ventured further, the trees thickened around me, their shadows dancing in the moonlight. I paused to listen, attuned to the whispers between the branches and leaves. Suddenly, I noticed a delicate haiku carved into the bark of a gnarled tree. Love flows like water, soothes the soul, nurtures growth. All are one. The words resonated within me, a profound reminder that love was not just a fleeting sensation but a flowing force of nature, one that could nourish the spirit in myriad ways. Stirred by this revelation, I continued on, my consciousness expanding with each step. Then, as if summoned by my contemplation, a gentle rustle beckoned my attention. Emerging from a thicket was a small group of deer, their eyes reflecting the moon's glow with an astonishing clarity. They approached cautiously, curiosity sparking between us. In their silent presence, I felt an unspoken connect-iona communion devoid of words. Yet rich with intent, I knelt down, my heart open, and felt a stirring of compassion for these fragile creatures. It dawned on me that, like celibacy, this encounter was all about recognizing and nurturing a connection that defied conventional notions. The deer grazed nearby, and for a moment, I was reminded that connection could be found everywhere, even in the movement of souls in tandem without the need for spoken reassurance. In that serene moment shared beneath the silver light, something profound revealed itself. Perhaps the journey into celibacy was not simply about the absence of a romantic relationship, but the cultivation of empathy and deep appreciation for the myriad forms of love around me. What if each interaction held the potential for something sacred, a chance to express love in its purest form without expectation or attachment? With a heart swelling with compassion, I sensed a gentle shift in the energy of the forest. The trees seemed to lean closer, the nocturnal creatures paused, and the wind held its breath as if waiting for my next thought. The question emerged clearly within me. How could I honor the sacred bond of love while exploring the richness that solitude had to offer? As I exited the grove of deer, the path opened before me into another clearing where a shimmering pond lay still, mirroring the constellations above. I could feel the energy of the water drawing me in, and as I approached, I noticed a small stone altar adorned with petals and twinkling crystals. It felt sacred, a resting place for intentions and an invitation to reflect upon my journey thus far. I took a moment to place the luminous flower down among the offerings. Its warm glow mingled with the radiant crystals, forming a tableau of shared energies. Kneeling beside the altar, I closed my eyes and felt the water's smooth lap against the bank, bringing a rhythm that calmed the storm of questions swirling within me. Here, I surrendered to the unknown, allowing my thoughts to flow freely. What am I truly seeking through this exploration? I asked into the stillness, feeling the calm of the moment envelop me. A ripple passed through the water, and as it settled, soft images flashed before my Minda tapestry of faces. Moments of laughter, tears, and silent encounters, each a snapshot of love in its various forms. I realized that this journey was not only personal but echoed the collective experiences of humanity. I rose slowly, feeling the weight of presence around me. It was as if the pond itself was whispering secrets of shared existence. Gazing into the depths, I contemplated the lasting impact of each connection, reminding myself that love transcends physicality, thriving in acts of kindness, compassion, and shared moments of joy and understanding. As I turned to leave the altar behind, a new question began to form, echoing within the depths of my spirit. Could I carry this essence of love into the world beyond these woods? How would this journey transform the way I engaged with others, transcending the limitations that had once constrained me? With the shimmering pond behind me, I felt renewed, awakened to the wonders yet to unfold in my heart and beyond. The path stretched onward into the unknown, inviting me further into the mysteries of love, solitude, and connection, each step a vital part of the sacred dance of existence. As I moved away from the tranquil pond, the air thickened with the scent of damp earth and blooming wildflowers. The forest's pulse quickened beneath my feet, each rustle in the underbrush and rustling of leaves like a reminder of the ever-present life surrounding me. Shadows flickered around me, as if the spirits of the forest were weaving into and out of existence, inviting me deeper into the heart of their domain. The path soon led me to a narrow footbridge crossing a bubbling brook, its waters sparkling with reflected moonlight, an inviting mirror of constellations. As I stood on the bridge, watching the water dance over smooth stones, I began to feel not just an observer of nature, but an intrinsic part of this flowing beauty. Here, among the whispers of the brook, the essence of love transformed before me into something fluid, something that connected even the most disparate of beings. A glimmering figure appeared at the stream's edge. Startled, I squinted to make sense of it, and in that moment, an ethereal being emerged, a small, luminous creature that seemed woven from the very light of the stars themselves. It hovered playfully above the water, flickering like a heartbeat's rhythm. I could feel it beckoning me, drawing me closer with an enchanting gentleness. "What are you?" I murmured, my voice barely a whisper among the sounds of the brook. The creature seemed to understand, shifting form like vapor, manifesting a shape that resembled a small, radiant child, a visage that pulsed with an innocence that felt familiar yet profoundly otherworldly. "You seek to unlock the hidden mysteries, do you not? To understand love in its myriad forms?" The voice was melodic, resonating through the air like chimes. It reverberated within my chest, igniting a fire of curiosity. "You ponder the nature of connection, yet have not considered how love also flows inward like the waters you see. It must also nourish the self. As realization dawned upon me, I began to grasp the concept of self-love not simply as self-acceptance, but as the act of nurturing my own essence, just as I would care for a garden filled with delicate blossoms. My journey thus far had emphasized gratitude and empathy for others, yet here was an invitation to extend that very love to myself. I observed the creature dance over the water's surface, causing ripples that shimmered brightly in response. In moments of solitude, one can discover depths untapped, a reservoir of untold beauty waiting to be recognized. Can you embrace the silence within as lovingly as you embrace the connections around you? The brook bubbled as if in agreement, and I felt its energy swirling around me, a gentle reminder of the equilibrium that existed within love, the balance of giving and receiving, of solitude and connection. I closed my eyes, breathing in deeply, allowing this newfound understanding to wash over me. The vision of the childlike being faded, but its essence lingered, leaving me with questions that expanded into widening spirals. What does it mean to truly love oneself? How could my path of celibacy strengthen rather than weaken my connections to others? As I considered my interactions with loved ones and strangers alike, I wondered whether the strength of my heart was rooted in my ability to first hold space for my own spirit. When I opened my eyes, the brook continued to flow, and its waters danced brighter beneath the moon's embrace, guiding me onward. I had entered a realm of deeper understanding and awareness that love was a force of reciprocal growth, a cycle of sharing both outwardly and inwardly. Yet in the midst of these revelations, I felt a sense of restlessness. It was as if the forest anticipated my next question, urging me to seek out further enlightenment. How could I become an embodiment of this newfound wisdom? What actionable steps could bridge the gap between self-love and the loving connections I yearned for with others? As each step brought me further into the embrace of the woods, I carried these unresolved inquiries close to my heart, propelling my journey into layers of complexity yet undiscovered. The path ahead remained shrouded in mystery, and with every passing moment, I sensed the untold stories of love yet to unfold. The forest seemed to breathe with me, its rhythmic undulations mirroring the newfound cadence of my heart. As I moved deeper, the shadows shifted into shapes that danced just beyond the corner of my eye, revealing the quiet spirits of the woodland. Each step I took was cradled by the soft earth and littered with vibrant mushrooms and curling ferns. Nature felt alive with whispers of wisdom. Suddenly, a clearing emerged before me, lit by luminous shafts of moonlight. In its center stood an ancient oak, gnarled and wise, its branches reaching outward like the arms of a sage. Drawn to its presence, I felt an unexplainable kinship. Perhaps this was a living testament to the cycles of life, love, and growth. I approached slowly, thoughts swirling in my mind like the leaves overhead as I rested a hand against the rough bark. A gentle rustling passed through the air, and a voice, deep yet tender, emanated from the tree itself. "You carry within you a heart that yearns to intertwine with the world," it said, each word reverberating through my core. "But have you considered the roots from which your spirit draws its strength?" A sudden realization struck me. Just as the oak needed its deep and interconnected roots to flourish, so too did I need to ground myself in self-love before reaching out to others. The process of cultivating my love harmonized with my connections, nurturing both the self and the community. Yet, it also demanded reflect Iona time to face the grit of my own past wounds. What if love were not merely an external expression? The oak inquired, its voice now a gentle breeze. What if, in learning to heal your own heart, you found a wellspring to share with the world? I closed my eyes, envisioning myself pouring that life-affirming energy into the soil of my soul. Memories of hurt flitted into view, ghosts of unreciprocated affection, fragmented relationships, and fears of isolation. Each one was a piece of my story, but they also represented hurdles along my path to self-discovery. As I delved into this introspection, I felt the oak's steady energy wrapping around me like a warm blanket, reinforcing my resolve to forgive both myself and those who had come and gone from my life. To heal is to embrace the tangled threads of experience. It continued. Face the grief, the joy, let them intermingle until you understand that love, in all its forms, is not merely something to possess, but a force that flows and transforms. The image of the sparkling brook returned to me, reminding me of that liquid grace that connects all beings. What would happen, I pondered aloud, if I could let love flow freely in both directions, recognizing the necessity of vulnerability and openness? In response, a gentle rustle echoed through the clearing, drawing my attention to a group of fireflies dancing around the oak. They lit up the night in playful patterns, communicating in their own language of gleaming light. An unrestrained joy emanated from them, each flicker resonating with the idea that love is meant to be shared freely, unencumbered by fear. Suddenly, a thought crept in unannounced. What if my own fears were like the dark spaces between their dances? Contained within my heart was a radiant truth that needed to shimmer in the world. Could embracing my wounds make space for deeper connections? I mused, a spark igniting within me as the fireflies flitted. A thought fluttered to the forefront of my mind. I needed to listen not just to the voices of the forest, but to the whispers of my own heart, urging me to trust in the love I could harbor for myself. But how to put this understanding into practice? How might I begin to navigate the balance between the sacredness of celibacy and the profound richness in shared experiences with others? At that moment, the oak spoke again, its voice soft and grounding. Remember that love's true essence lies in the authenticity of your being. Every action you take, every word you speak, can be imbued with the love you nurture within. With that guidance lingering in the air, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. My heart was opening, yet remained full of questions. How could I channel this love into the world? Would vulnerability lead to connection or solitude? And as I returned to the path that lay beyond the clearing, those questions danced like the fireflies, illuminating the night with the promise of discovery, inviting me to remain curious about the unfolding journey ahead. I wandered through the forest, the echoes of my spirit resonating with the whispers of the trees. Each step felt lighter, and I sensed the knowledge I had gathered transforming into a warm cocoon around me. A nurturing embrace that made the once uncertain path ahead shimmer with potential. I found myself drawn toward a gentle stream, its water sparkling in the moonlight like a cascade of stars. Kneeling at the water's edge, I gazed into the depths, seeking to understand the reflections of my journey, the shadows I had faced, and the light that had emerged from the cracks. What am I meant to learn from solitude? I asked the stream. Like a reply woven from the currents, the water's movement urged me to listen, to dive deeper into my own heart. Suddenly, visions ignited in my mind. Moments of laughter shared, tears shed, connections made, and connections lost. Each one was a thread in the tapestry of my existence, revealing that every experience had brought me here an intricate web of love that began within. I recalled the teachings of the radiant beings I had encountered along the way. Each one had imparted wisdom, encouraging me to embrace the sacredness of my solitude, to transform that space into a garden rich with self-acceptance and understanding. I realized that celibacy was not about denying love, but creating a sanctuary from which to cultivate it. In nurturing my spirit, I could embrace a love not defined by the need for another but rooted in the recognition of my own worth. A gentle rush of gratitude swept over me, overwhelming and profound, as I inhaled the crisp air, my lungs filling with the essence of the Forster reminder that I was alive, connected to all that surrounded me. What if vulnerability is the bridge to deeper love? I pondered aloud, and the stream echoed back with its bubbling sound, as if affirming my thought. Each moment of quiet reflection had drawn me closer to an understanding of shared humanity. Love was multifaceted, a flowing current that intertwined with the roots of empathy, understanding, and acceptance. As I sat beside the stream, an unexpected sense of peace washed over me, a profound realization dawning like the sun rising through the morning mist. The stories of my past were no longer burdens. Instead, they were liberation. I carried within me the power to choose how I engaged with my wounds. Would I allow fear to guide me, or would I extend grace to myself and others? Rising to my feet, I took a step back from the bank, my heart swelling. The moon illuminated my path with silver light as I began moving forward, confidence surging through my veins like a river. Each question that had lingered in my mind transformed into a meditative mantra, a symphony of self-love and connection now pulsating harmoniously within me. Then, an enchanting sound floated through the trees. A harmonious melody that danced lightly on the night breeze entranced me. It was an invitation, a celebration echoing from deeper within the woods. My steps quickened, eager to discover the source of this captivating tune. As I turned a corner, I stumbled into a clearing vibrant with life and music. There, in the center, a circle of beings sat together, the spirits of the woods, creatures of the night united in an ethereal gathering, their joy palpable. They danced, twirling with an energy of pure, radiant love that felt contagious. Each soul hidden within this clearing resonated with laughter and light. Join us. Embrace this moment, they called out, their voices weaving through the chorus of the night. In that instant, I felt fear melting away, replaced instead by an overwhelming joy. It was a reminder that love was meant to be shared, a connectivity that transcended barriers, a symphony of harmony that demanded participation. Letting go of my inhibitions, I stepped into the circle, moving with the rhythm of the music, embracing the blissful energy surrounding me. Laughter bubbled forth as I swayed, memories flooding back. I understood not just in my mind but within every fiber of my being that I was not alone. The bonds I created within my solitude had buoyed me, providing a foundation from which I could engage with others wholeheartedly. Each smile shared, each moment of connection, woven together through the electric threads of love, created a beautiful tapestry of existence. As the music swelled and pulsed, a realization rippled through me. It was never about defining solitude as isolation, nor love as possession. It was the ability to be whole within oneself while extending joy and warmth outward. To cherish the relationships we cultivate in tandem with the ones we nurture internally. In the glow of the moon, and surrounded by newfound friends, I closed my eyes, soaking in the euphoria of the moment, resonating with the truth that echoed within. And in that profound silence, with the sounds of laughter lingering like the sweetest perfume, I felt a deep sense of peace envelop me, whispering a promise that I would carry this love forward, a gift to myself and the world beyond. When the dance cooled, we gathered beneath the stars, and in the tender glow of the night, a stillness fell upon us. The circle pulsed with gratitude, silence wrapping us in its embrace, revealing a unity that transcended words. And it was there, in that sacred space of acceptance, that I fully understood the essence of my sacred journey. Celibacy had not been about sacrifice, but an awakening, a crucial chapter in the book of love that demanded exploration not just of the external world but of the depths of my heart. I could appreciate the beauty of my solitude while embracing the shimmering connections that flourished around me. Eventually, as the first light of dawn began to paint the skies, I stood once more, ready to return to the world. Each heartbeat echoed with understanding, a symphony of love that intertwined my spirit with all being, reminding me of the sacred truth. In unity with self, we are free to connect without fear. And in that freedom, love becomes a boundless, eternal dance. I took a final look around at the circle of luminous souls, a chorus of their silent gratitude filling the air. As I walked away, and the forest thinned to reveal a new path, I carried with me not just the lessons learned but also the quiet knowing that love is a journey, a rich tapestry woven with threads of connection, vulnerability, and profound appreciation. And with that, I stepped into the dawn, welcoming the world and all its mysteries, ready to embrace the transformative journey of love yet to come, knowing that at its most profound essence lies a truth shared by all love. In its fullest potential, flows endlessly, connecting us all.